G'day legends and welcome back to the channel. Tony from the Mighty Overlander here. So today what we're doing is a quick afternoon fishing trip down to Harvey Dam. Harvey Dam is about two and a half hours south of Perth and is a really popular freshwater fishing spot, and it's a really good place to come down during the marine season as well. But the aim of today is to do like a bit of a mini field test of all of the new gear that I've been throwing in the back of the Jimny, and to break it up with a little bit of fishing as well. So it's not all just boring gear review stuff. We'll be getting the lines wet as well. So today I've got Dusty, as always, with me in the back there. So Dusty, how you going, buddy?
Yeah, good mate, how are you?
Yeah, fantastic. So heading down to Harvey today, what do you reckon the chances are?
I mean, any day out's a good day, but we're hoping to get some ready to fill the SKA.
Yeah, buddy. So basically from here we're going to be pulling down into Harvey Dam. Now you can actually see from the back footage that I've got on that other camera how everything's changed in the back of the car. So now it's fully set up. If you haven't gone back and seen those other videos that I've done over the last 3 episodes or so, go back and check them out. So we've done the Molle side panels for the windows, we've done the standalone roof shelf, we've also done the gas bottle holder at the back of the car as well that you might be able to see out the back there. And they're all really good pieces of kit that's enabled me to move a lot of the gear that was normally packing up that middle section of the car, and has now allowed me to move it kind of to the sides of the car there. And I'll just turn that one on, and allows me to basically see out the back window properly. It's safer, and it's certainly a much better kind of cargo management. And one of the big things when it comes down to micro overlanding is everything being organised and being in its place. So for the most part, a lot of the time we end up kind of taking the same kind of gear that the guys in the bigger rigs do, but you've just got to organise it a little bit better. Maybe, you know, get the cut down version or something like that. And what this does is enable me to use a lot of those Molle packs and stuff like that, especially for like my survival first aid gear that's in the back there, and everything like that. And the other things that I've also done in the back is I've got the new Nomad PDU power system. So I'll be doing a full gear review and rundown on that one as well, which is going to be really good. But also the Grab Me Gear GearMate pods that are in the back there as well. And what that's enabled me to do is essentially get rid of that big drawer that was out there. You know, bugger that one off, because it was really just not doing anything. It was just really bulky, very, very heavy, and I've replaced that with a single fridge slide where I put those gear pods on top of it, so it's like almost like an open topped drawer with those clear canvas pods, and they are absolutely fantastic. So the whole back of the car has changed. I've lightened up the gear and everything like that. All right guys, we are now turning into Harvey Dam just here, and I reckon the first thing that we're going to do is find our first little spot. Here we are. And once we find this first little spot, we are going to get those lines wet. I'll have a little bit of a chat about that, and then we're going to go and have a bit of a checkers on the inside of the Jimny and the new setup. All right guys, enjoy, and hopefully we'll be able to get a couple of those tight lines going on as well. Have a good one. Rightio team, here we are. So down at Harvey Dam. We're going to get these lines wet first. Actually, this isn't too bad, but we're a bit worried about the wind. Now, we've got a little bit of current here and stuff like that, but I think we've actually got a nice little spot here, mate. What do you reckon?
Hey, yeah. You know, we only just got here, but we'll have a drive around, see if we can find some good spots. Big dam, so plenty to explore. That's
it, bloody oath. All right, so what are we doing today with our fishing rod setup, mate?
Oh, just on the light tackle, Shimano, the Abu bloody reel. Just going to try a little spinner at the moment, see how that goes.
Let's have a little look at that one. Yeah, you
the
beauty.
Old, MEP spinner.
You beauty. So something that we've been looking at trying to do for a little while now is there's an American lure set that we've tried a few times with varying success, but we're actually going to try and make our own lures pretty soon. So we're going to give that one a bit of a go. Now we've got a little bit of dark cloud heading over at the moment, so we're not really that worried about the about getting a little bit wet, but yeah, look, now I'm going to get my rod all set up, and once I've done that, we've had a little bit of a flick, we'll get in there and we'll have a bit of a look at all of this new gear in the back of the Jimny. I mean, look at that. How much neater and nicer setup is that compared to all of that stuff that was all stacked up here last time? Absolutely fantastic. I really am genuinely impressed with how this has turned out. It's absolutely fantastic. All right, guys, enjoy, and I will see you down at the water ledge. All right, so you can see here I've got it set up. It makes things nice and easy for me to kind of get my stuff and then like work with it and everything like that. So hopefully you can see that, because it's actually quite well. You can see I've got the Nomad set up and everything, but we're going to get this line set up. So I'm going to try this little Rapala, and hopefully this one goes all right and I don't lose it straight away. I've got this terrible habit, unfortunately, of losing lures lately and not getting any fish in return for it, so it's becoming an expensive hobby. So here we go. Now, as I mentioned before, we're going to try and make some of our own lures as well. And one of the lures that I want to try and replicate is one by a mod called Jake's Lure, and it's this little bad boy here. And you remember this one from the Secret Fishing Spot episode. And these ones are really easy, and they're just like a bit of brass flat bar kind of thing, and you can kind of do it like that. There you go, pull that one down. Please don't be too disgusted with my knot tying ability. I'm not very good at knots. Oh, that sun's come out, it's absolutely lovely. Alright, so that, nice and cinched up. Cool, alright, so put my, leave your line everywhere. Okay, here we are with that one. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Little Rapala. Okay, we'll see how that one goes, eh? Okay. Go down. Go up here where Dusty is, I reckon. Lots of fun stuff happening. Lots of fun stuff. Any bites there? Not yet? Alright. Alright, here we go. So we'll see what the action is on this one. I don't know if we can see this here. Yeah, there's a little bit of stuff on the bottom there, so you've got to be careful of that. Okay, see how we go with that. Got him. Nah, just under, mate. If you bring in, you should be right. Yeah, it's hitting the bottom just there. So you can see this one come in, and she kind of flicks through the water, trying to mimic the old fish action. Hopefully it goes alright. Let's get it back out there, eh? Yeah, so you're picking up in this weedy kind of stuff here. So just got to be mindful of that. Maybe might be better to change over the Jake's lure. That one's not so bad. Let's get out to that little slightly deeper stuff there. See the action come through. Pretty attractive little morsel. If I was a fish, I'd eat it. That's why I think anyway. I don't really I don't really know whether it means anything. I've caught redfin on lures that just look like a bottle opener, and I've also caught them on ones that genuinely look like something that they'd eat. So I don't really know what the mindset is of a redfin. Yes. All right, so what's happened? Well, in the process of trying to do this little fishing trip down to Harvey, unfortunately, I've gone and broken my rod. So, a little bit disappointing. Look, it is what it is. That's unfortunately part and parcel of fishing and all that kind of stuff. I was just lifting it out of the back of the car and she just snapped. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get that fixed. I don't even know if you can fix that kind of stuff, but we'll soon find out. But anyway, so what we're going to do from here is we're going to jump back in the cars and we're going to zip over to the other side of the dam. There's a little bit of full driving and whatnot over there. I do want to film a little bit of how this gear goes in the back with stability and everything like that. I mean, as you can see so far, like everything in here is really tip top. So yeah, I'm really quite happy with it. Unfortunately, you know, we haven't caught anything. I've lost 3 lures, 2 of my favorite ones, and managed to break my $300 Zodius rod. So, you know, not off to the best start, but I can't just show you all of the happy day camping trips. I've got to kind of show you the reality of this outdoor lifestyle, is that sometimes things go wrong. You know, unfortunately, sometimes you break rod, you break gear, you break the car, you know, things like that. That's just the reality of all of this kind of stuff. So look, I guess we're gonna jump in and head over the other side and then go from there. Look, is what it is. All right, we'll crack on and hopefully, yeah, be able to find something in the other side there. Oh well. Anyway, enjoy. G'day guys. Okay, so we're down here at Harvey Dam. We've had a bit of a flick, not much in the way of fish. However, I did say on the way in, the plan for today was to put the new setup on the back of the Jimny through a little bit of a mini field test. Now, I'm going to be doing a proper camping field test when we head down to the Warren River next weekend. However, for now, what we're doing now is a little bit of full driving, and I just wanted to show how the kit actually stood up in regards to staying where it's meant to and not flopping all over the place and causing havoc in the back of the cab. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly point out how it's all kind of set up, how I've got it packed, and then we're going to do some decent full drive tracks on the way out. As you can see here, I've got the GoPro set up on the back window here, so I'm going to be able to see exactly how this works, right? Essentially what I want to be able to see is my gear secured to the Molle panels? Is the gear up in the top shelf going to just flop around the place? Is there any other mods that I might need to do to tighten anything up? Now, we did do some pretty decent full driving on the way down in. Dusty was lifting wheels all over the place with the Ranger, which was absolutely fantastic to watch from behind. Now, one of the things that I want to see is how much this gear moves, okay? So you can come in close here, Dusty. So as you can see here, I've got the standalone shelf up the top here, right? My fishing tackle bag, all that kind of good gear is up here. The new Gold Rats Engineering 200 watt solar panels up here as well. I've got my survival first aid Molle gear at the back here, the Nomad PDU down in the back corner here, and then all of these awesome Grab Me gear pods down here in the center. So essentially what I've done is I've moved a heap of the gear away from the middle and up to the top dead space in the roof and onto these Molle panels on the side here, and then put a single draw slide here in the middle, and with that having these little clear top slides, as you can see here, right, I pull this one out and then I can just go, yep, that's the one that I want, and then head out from there as well, which is really good. Now in the future, what I would like to do with, as you can see, the Coleman Hyperflames down in the back there, what I would like to do is actually have that strapped up under here, using this kind of dead space in here a little bit more. I'm not super worried about that. However, in the future, right, that could be a good plan, because there are some other things that I want to put on the back of the seats there. Now, one good thing about the way that this has all come about, if you remember the old kit, I had that drawer here, and then I had the big tough boxes and everything like that kind of stacked up here. Problem with that, my vision outside the car through the back, gone, completely gone. All right, so one of the best parts about this new setup, I can actually see out the back window. So you could see on that footage on the way in through the rear facing GoPro that I've got here on the back window, you could see all the way through to the front, which is absolutely fantastic. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little bit more serious full driving, head back up the trail that we came in. Now this is pretty steep kind of stuff, right? The car's going to rock around a little bit, and what I'm expecting to see is that all of this kit stays where it's meant to, okay? I don't want to see any kit falling from the roof. I don't want any of these Molle panels shaken loose of their Molle setup on the sides here. And I reckon, considering that everything stayed into its place on the way down, I reckon it's going to stay perfectly in place on the way back up again. All right, so we're going to get up there. So go grab yourself a nice cold one and sit back and watch the action. And we are going to do some full driving and then field test how all of this gear stays in place. Now, also in the next little while, what I'm going to be doing is a full rundown of the Nomad PDU that I've been promising you now for a couple of weeks. So I am going to get that done. But for now, what we're going to do is make sure that this new setup does exactly what I've been saying it's going to be doing for the last little while. All right, guys, enjoy, and I'll see you soon.
Nah, not so good actually.
Alright guys, so let's see if anything's moved in the back of the Jimny. So come on over here, Dusty. Alright. So one thing's fell out, okay? So that was my little shower pack, and that was just up the top here. So that's just something I've got to be mindful of. Make sure that when I put some of these items up here, that they aren't just on top of it. I think what's happened here is I put it on top of my solar panel, and that's a bit slidey up there. So if I jam that in a little bit better, then that's probably not going to move around. However, looking at everything else, nothing's jumped out, all the pods are in the right spot and all that kind of stuff. So that one there was just up the top there. So that one's the only one that's fallen out, which is pretty good actually. So apart from that, I think we'll then crack on to the next obstacle, and hopefully it will remain the same, and I'll be able to prove that this is actually quite a good little overland setup. Okay guys, so we're now going to have Dusty come up in this same spot. Now Dusty's got the Wild Track Ranger, and the good thing about this bad boy, he's actually got the diff lockers in there as well, so he should eat this up quite easily. Now, one of the differences between, say, like a micro overlander setup like I've got and the bigger rig in the Ranger is everything that I've got has to be in its own little spot. Everything has to be in a little place and so well managed, otherwise I can't fit everything in. But more so when I can't fit everything in, if I just start stuffing things in there, it actually becomes a little bit unsafe. So any of you guys that are interested in that kind of stuff, make sure that that's what you're doing. You're nice and organized. All right, let's have a look at Dusty. He's coming up now. There you go, the big rig ate it up. Little touch of the rock on the way through, but he's fine. All right, guys, we're going to crack onto this next one, which is a little bit more of a descent, and then we're going to head on out of here. So once again, guys, this is just a bit of a field test in the four-wheel drive scenario that the gear that we've put in the car actually works quite well. All right, enjoy. Alright guys, so the next little hill climb was all done. Once again, the kit in the back of the car hasn't gone anywhere. So you can see in the in-car footage that everything's staying where it's meant to, and it's proper full driving. So this is, you know, while it's not hardcore rock crawling, you know, these are some pretty decent tracks. So look, for the most part, I'm really happy with it. Now, a couple of little things in regards to what you should take into account. So first off, with the KAON standalone roof shelf. Now, while that makes excellent use of that dead space at the top there, one thing you do have to make sure of is that when you put gear in there, that you put it in such a way that it's not going to slide out, because there's no retaining strap or anything there. That might be something useful in the future. Maybe like just a little pull strap across the front might be pretty handy. So yeah, there's always that. But for the most part, it's you know, it's pretty handy. All right, guys, we've got Dusty coming up the track now, so let's have a look. You beauty. All right, so let's get stuck into it and we'll try and find our way out of these tracks. So I haven't actually been here before, so this is a really good opportunity to do a bit of new fall driving, but also to put this gear to the test. I'm really happy. All right, enjoy. Alright guys, so we've done some pretty decent tracks on the way up here on the other side of Harvey Dam there. Now we're going to quickly go through the back and show you how well it's held up. I mean, to me, that looks pretty good. The only thing that moved was this little bad boy here, which is my little shower set that I had stashed up the top there. Okay, and that's the only thing that actually came out. So look, what are the pros of a system like this? So far, one, it keeps everything away from the middle. So I've been able to get some of those smaller items that were usually cluttering up that middle section away and then up into those areas that aren't normally used. Now, the other good part is, especially when you're using things like Molle, little pouches and all those kinds of things, everything becomes quite modular. And the good thing about modular setups, especially when it comes down to micro overlanding, is that everything has its place, which is really good. The other thing that I really like about it is, so far, nothing's moved. There's no loose bolts, there's no creaks, there's no anything like that. There's the normal sounds that a four-wheel drive are going to make when you're running around through the big tracks. But as you can see from the footage on this little bad boy here, nothing came tumbling out. The Molle panels didn't rip themselves out of the frame of the car or anything like that. So I'm really happy with the way that that's gone. So look, there you go, guys. Episode 4 of the KAON setup. So this is the little field test, taking it out, putting it through its paces and making sure that the gear that I put in this car is actually going to survive the long haul. It's going to be useful for what I'm actually going to be, you know, doing all of my micro overlanding stuff, but also, all right, when I put these pieces of kit in the car, what I'm basically doing is saying to you guys that it's good, that it actually works, that it does what it's meant to do. And rather than me just going, yeah, sure, that's great, what we've done today is we've taken it out and we've shown you that this kit actually works really well. So look, I can't be happier with this kit. Like I said, the pros, everything's away from the center, it's all really good, solid kit, and it's nice and modular. The cons, let's see. With everything on the windows, it does make it a little bit harder to see out the back. Now, that's not that uncommon for four-wheel drives anyway. The last set that I had in regards to the big tough boxes and stuff, I couldn't see out the back anyway, all right? So I've actually opened up most of the vision again, except for just on these sides, it is still a little bit ordinary in regards to seeing out the back there. But luckily, with such a little car with decent mirrors and stuff, it's not a big downer. Having to drill into the frame itself for the Molle panels, look, you can just use the 3M tape that's on there, and that's really going to be a good option for those people that don't want to drill in. But having to drill in it's good because it's really secure, but also, you know, no one really likes drilling into their car, do they? So it's one of those things that's, you know, it's kind of neither here nor there, but it's got its pros, but it's got its cons as well. But apart from that though, guys, look, I mean, you know, if you look at the old setup that I had, this is considerably better. So I really can't be happier. So first off, all of this kit, definitely worth it. Yes, it was given to me by KAON, but it's worth it. It's good gear. My promise is basically I'm not going to be accepting gear from anyone that's crap anyway. Okay, so when it comes down to it, it's all good gear anyway, and I've just been really fortunate that KAON have come on board to support the channel, and in return, look, I mean, this is a great setup. I really can't complain too much about it at all. All right, guys, look, we're going to jump on this track and get out of here. So once again, thanks very much for watching. I always enjoy getting out here and having a bit of fun, putting the Jimny through its paces and putting some of this new gear through its paces as well. So we've got plenty of footage today, some pretty cool full driving, a couple of really good obstacles, gave the Jimny a run for its money, and also gave this kit a really good field test, so that's been really good. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really does help the channel out in regards to getting my content out there, and make sure you throw a comment below, see what part you like the most, and whether or not this is something that you can see yourself putting into your own micro overlander setup. All right, guys, thanks very much, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy.